Hey, we are live right now with the Payneless Flipping Podcast. What's up, Investor Thrive Nation? I got my man right here, Musa Al Sulaimani. Oh, shoot, I practiced it. Musa Al Sulaimani?
Al Sulaimani.
Almost
got it.
I tried, man. I tried, but
it's close enough.
That's awesome.
Close enough.
I'm curious, real quick. What nationality are you, man? I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm a mix. I get that question a lot. So it's a Middle Eastern name, actually. My dad traveled to the Middle East when we were young, but I'm actually mixed with a few things. On my dad's side, a little Eastern European, Russian, Italian, and then my mother is Indian, but Indian, and she's Israeli as well, but she's her ethnicity is Indian, so pretty much mixed with a lot, but Indian, Russian, Italian,
That's
mixed
awesome.
with a few different things.
The reason why I asked you that, bro, is because I get that asked all the time to me, and when you're brown like us, people just like they don't even know. They're like a Mexican, they and then you just kind of told me, and you're like, no one's ever guessing that, right? Like it's hard to guess what people are. Like for me, I'm half Chilean, half white, like straight American.
Wow.
So, and I look, depending on how big my beard is, I'll get Muslim, right? I'll get Middle Eastern, and then I get it short, and then people are like Hispanic. You know how it is. What?
Yeah, mine's the same way, but it's a blessing though. You can go whatever way you want to go.
No,
matter where you're at. Fit in a little bit, so I think it's a blessing.
No, it is, man. It's a blessing. And I honestly think as like time goes on, everybody's mixed. It doesn't matter how you break it down. You look at the DNA, everyone's mixed, and unless it's just some person that's just pure. Actually, one of my neighbors is I think I'm saying this right. She's 99% Ashkenazi Jew, just 99%. Like no mixtures. I guess all through her DNA, which I thought was amazing.
Wow.
But anyway, hey man, really happy to have you on here. For everybody's watching, I brought Musa on here because he was referred to me by Anthony Cassar, and I always love getting in front of winners, getting in front of people that we can learn from. And as you know, the Payneless Flipping Podcast is about real estate, it's about entrepreneurs, it's about the winner mentality. And Musa, this guy's a winner. He's got a business. He's up boxing people. He's a fighter, and I love learning from people like this. And I think everyone can. So today we're going to dive into what he's about, what he's doing right now, his journey, and a little bit about his business too, right? Because you're an inventor, right?
Yeah. So I'm an inventor. I have a ton of different products. This logo here, Amazon FBA Gorillas. I have a course teaching others how to do product development, launch product from scratch, invent products, come up with creative ideas for products, come up with solutions for problems that exist in the market, how to develop it, how to manufacture, how to find those manufacturers, just really, from ground up on how to not only choose the right product to sell on Amazon, but how to actually invent and design and manufacture products as well. So that's from the business side. We can dive into that, but
we definitely have to.
Well.
Yeah, we definitely have to dive into the business and the fighting aspect. That's amazing. So let's kind of start. I got so many questions about the business because I'm in the real estate world, bro. I've never honestly even heard about like Inventor. Well, I've heard about inventors, but I didn't know about courses. I don't even know the first thing you would do to like if you had an idea how to develop that product. No idea. So I'm going to ask you a lot of questions, and I'm sure a lot of people watching this will definitely be interested in reaching out. And I have in the description, everybody have his Instagram. It's Moose_777. Is that right?
That's right. Moose_777. Moose like the animal.
That's it. That's it.
Like a moose.
Is that like your nickname or something? Does everyone call you that? Or
everyone asks, how I got that name. It's my name's Musa, so just naturally people call me Moose. Like when people hear like Moose is coming and they haven't met me, they think it's this big guy coming, and I'm not small, but I'm, they're thinking like a big fat dude coming through.
Yeah.
And, I pull
That's
up.
awesome.
But just Moose.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, everybody hit him up, but let's kind of dive into the nitty gritty of it. So before we even get into like your business, I want to get to know a little bit about your background and how you even got into product development and fighting. Like, I know the boxing, you must have been doing that for a while before you even went to college or got into your business. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. I've been boxing all my life. I've been boxing since I was a little kid. My dad was a boxer and kind of, taught me. I grew up in Philadelphia, and boxing is kind of the sport in Philadelphia. So I grew up boxing in Philadelphia. My dad was a boxer, and just from a young age, being in the boxing gyms, training, fighting. And then I got to a point where I had a lot of success as a kid. Got to a point where I started playing football in high school, and I wanted to play football in college as well. I had a few injuries and things like that. And then coming to Penn State, I wound up boxing at Penn State and kind of fell back in love with the sport from my childhood and things like that. And just boxed throughout college, and won a national title while at Penn State. and that's where
What?
I,
You won a national title boxing, bro?
yeah, yes, sir.
That's sick. That's awesome, man.
Thank you.
Dang. Okay. Well, for everybody that's watching this, dang, you got a boxing champion right over here. That's sick. Okay. Sorry to interrupt your flow, man, but I didn't know that. That's cool.
No, yeah. So then, that's kind of where I ran it, met Bo Nickel and Anthony Kazar. And, in Philadelphia, where I'm from, they don't really, wrestling is not a big sport. So I never really heard, or I've heard of it. You hear like WWE and things like that, but, and there's a distinction between real wrestling and fake wrestling, but, we didn't have it in high school. So coming to college and meeting those guys, this was where I started really getting exposed to wrestling. And when I kind of saw it live, I was like, dang, this is cool. Like, this is real competitive and tough. And it reminded me a lot of boxing. So then that's when I started getting with them, and we talked about this kind of MMA dream, and kind of transitioned them from wrestling to MMA, and then me from boxing into MMA. And MMA is really on the rise now, so it's on the climb. So it's just something that I got interested in. And then Bo opened up the gym here in Happy Valley in State College, just right next to the Penn State facility. And it was just a perfect situation. So, from then for, about 2 years now, we've just been training full time to make this MMA run. And it's been like an awesome experience.
Wow. That's amazing. Is the gym pretty busy? They got like quite a few people that go out there and train over there?
Oh yeah, it's an awesome gym. Like if you're in State College, Happy Valley, or around Penn State, this is definitely the gym to pull up. We have a world class, a 5th degree black belt teaching the jiu-jitsu class. We have another guy. He's coming back in. He's like a 4 or 5 time world Muay Thai champion, and obviously Bo and a lot of those guys. So it's a really good gym. It's open to the public as well for open classes and things like that. Jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, and then we also have our pro class that we train in the morning, the guys that are looking to compete and fight professionally. So yeah, it's definitely busy. It's popping off, and it's a young gym. It's only been around for a couple of years, so we're only growing.
That's amazing, dude. So I got a question for you about fighting and the gym. If you were to just pick one skill set, you might be biased to boxing, but just one skill set out of, let's just say, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, boxing, like let's just say those 4, which one would you want to be the best in the world at when it comes to fighting in the ring? Because I don't know.
I thought you were gonna hit me with the Bradley Martin question.
Is that the same? Does he ask the same thing?
No, he goes, I'm 260. I'm 260. I just want to ask you, he has like a professional fighter. He's like, can you beat me? I'm 260. It's like, it's fun. It's a clip that's been going viral, but
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I guess for me, it's I'm biased, but I would say boxing is a great base. I think for me, boxing is just a great base, especially just to learn the basics, learn that footwork. A lot of people think boxing is all about your hands, but I would say it's about 70% footwork and your mind. It's a chess match. So if you understand really good positioning and footwork and everything like that, I think a lot of it translates. So it's kind of a funny like debate people like to have, like which one's the best in the street and and all that. I think there's no good fight in the street, with this nowadays, obviously people have weapons and things like that. So for me, it's good to have your hands, let a couple go and then get out of there. You don't want to be tussling with anyone on the ground and somebody's boy come up. Just be able to land a couple shots, be able to throw your hands and get out of there. And also, teaches you a ton of confidence and a ton of discipline. The same thing with wrestling. Just being up here and wrestling with these guys, wrestling is a sport that I've grown to respect, and it's tough. Like, you get in there and you're there to work. There's guys that are been doing it for a long time, and if you're not coming prepared and ready, you're gonna pay. So all the martial arts, you gotta once you really get in there and do it, you grow to respect and have a natural respect for it. So
definitely, no, I love that, and I love the fact that you brought up that it's a chess game, right? Because like whether it's wrestling, jiu-jitsu, boxing, it's all like a chess match, right? Like countering, trying to figure out what strategy to use. So let's go back to growing up as a boxer, and then obviously you won the championship in Penn State. But how did that your mindset, like how did being a boxer growing up, how did that affect your mindset like throughout your life? Like were you always motivated to do whatever you went out? Were you ready to crush it? Like just kind of curious, like how being a boxing helped you out.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that I think as a man, everybody should challenge himself. Man, woman, whatever. You should definitely challenge yourself. And for me, stepping in like a ring, stepping in a cage is probably one of the most challenging things. Mentally, physically. It's not just what everybody sees on the night of the fight. Obviously, you got a ton of preparation. You have a ton of hard work, and it's also a mind game. So you're fighting with yourself. It's not just a battle with the guy in front of you. A lot of times, the guy that's going to step in that ring, he's the least of your worries, right? The least of your worries is yourself. So, for me, it's like those months leading up to the fight, you're dealing with, the mind tricks that your brain plays on you. You're about to get in the ring with this guy that's, wants to kill you, wants to knock you out in front of everyone. So you have to understand that. You have to live with that, and you have to control that in your head. So you have to be able to control your emotions. You have to be able to prepare in the right way. So yeah, all these things kind of just teach you like a baseline, how to be disciplined, how to prepare for something. Not just because, in fighting, boxing, whatever it is, it's not like, I don't know, getting ready for chess or something. Like you can seriously get hurt. You can walk in and then walk out a different person. You can seriously get damaged, and it's not a joke. So you have to be prepared. There's no like I'm gonna kind of half-ass this camp or half-ass training or maybe my cardio isn't right. You have to make sure you're fully prepared. And a lot of people, they don't have that consequence going into like business, until it really sets in. Like I'm dead broke. And the consequence now is like, if I'm not successful, I'm not going to eat. And so, just having that consequence at the end of the tunnel, like I'm going to be in there and forcing yourself to do it. Like a lot of people, they say they're going to go and do a fight, but it never happens, because it's like when it really sets in, that's when it becomes different, that sure. Consequence becomes real. And so that's kind of translated, over into business, where it's like, maybe the consequence, maybe I don't need the money right away, but I've already instilled in myself that preparation for something that can be a big consequence at the end. So it's really taught me how to prepare for things, how to, mentally be disciplined, and how to, instill that hard work and dedication and everything like that. And also confidence. A sport like boxing or wrestling or jiu-jitsu, whatever, it instills confidence to where you can handle yourself wherever you go.
Yeah.
And I think that just translates over, in life.
No, that's interesting, because I also have like the extreme confidence in myself, to the point where like there was this guy at my gym who, I looked at him, I was like, I'm a great wrestler in my opinion. I think I'm good. And I went and he creamed me, bro. And I was like, later found out that, he was in the MMA for like 10. He was an older guy, right? But he was MMA fighter. But like in my mind, I was so confident, bro. I was like, I can do this. But it's interesting how like getting into sports, doing what you did, like, yeah, you pretty much probably go into I would say anything with confidence, right? Because you're like, hey, I'll figure it out. I'm gonna work hard. I'm assuming
you'll figure it out, or it's not that bad. Like it's it's not, this guy's not gonna be punching me in my face, like doing a podcast with you. It's like, yeah, you're not swinging on me right now. So
not swinging on you. So this is better than you can handle this.
Bro. So this is
so cool.
Like obviously, yeah, you can get like worked up. Some people get psyched up, but for me, I'm like, oh, like I just walked out and front X amount of people and got locked in a cage, and we went at it. So now it's like, all right, let's go do this podcast. All right. No big deal.
Bro, podcasts are probably the easiest thing that fighters deal with, right? They're like, oh, I got to talk for a little bit. No problem.
Yeah, it's interesting though, but sometimes it's not that way, because a lot of fighters, they deal with just the fighting aspect, and they don't branch out into academics or communication or anything like that. So sometimes it can be they can find themselves in deep waters, just like the other way around. Whereas if a podcast host maybe steps in the ring or something, I'm not saying you've got some experience, but whatever. Like some guys just don't prepare for that, and it's tough. But
do you know what kind of I didn't watch this fight because I don't really get into this, but it looked like I saw like highlights. Nate Diaz versus that Jake Paul guy. It looked like Nate didn't even train, bro. I don't know if you saw any of that. I don't know if you're cool with Nate Diaz, but
I watched it actually.
Did it look like Nate was like, I don't know. I just saw highlights. I was like, man, it looked like Nate's just like not really even trying that hard. I don't know. What's your opinion on that?
I think he definitely tried. I think he's an MMA guy. He's boxing is a different sport. There's a different rule sets. There's a different cardio. So when you have a guy like Jake Paul, he's taking it serious. He's training every day with the best trainers, best athletic trainers, best.
He's training with you guys too, right? Doesn't he train with you guys?
Yeah, exactly. Like our guys like, Bo go up there and train and things like that. So he's doing all the right things, and he's not a slouch. He has a lot of power. And the way he's moving around the ring, you could tell that he's been getting the right advice and things like that. But anything that you do,
do you think people just take him like they don't take him serious, or do you think they do?
Well, I think people take him serious now. I think they see what, because, in the beginning, he just had a lot of power. Anybody can just naturally have power. And, he's a YouTube guy with some power, and he went in and knocked a couple guys out. But now you can see the progression to where he's not just throwing power. He's setting the guys up. He's moving his feet. He's throwing a jab to the body. He's setting the guy up for the overhand. I mean, he's doing a lot of the right things. He's rolling with the punches. So he's doing a lot of things that, high level boxers, high level, it takes a long time to master. But the thing is, he's kind of fast tracked because he has, number one, he has the best trainers, the best sparring partners, the best facility. People don't understand how powerful that can be. And he's in a situation where he has the money to invest in that and not worry about a paycheck or not worry about how he's going to pay the bills. He can do all that and just focus full time on training. So like I've been doing MMA now for a while, and I just went back to Philly and just got pure boxing work, and I almost forgot the intensity, the level of detail that a boxing trainer will point out versus like an MMA, because it's more to it, right? You can't focus on boxing the whole camp, or you can't focus on boxing. But when you're specifically focused on boxing, every little detail matters. Every little detail is crucial. And if you let your guard down for a second, or you start biting on a feint like that, you can get caught. And that's just something that a guy like Nate Diaz, he's just probably not training specifically boxing for that long a period of time. And I think he actually looked a lot better because he probably been training boxing for a little bit now for the fight, but mainly all his life, he's just focused on like jiu-jitsu, boxing, and that's a sport in itself.
That mixed martial arts. Well, maybe I should have watched it, man. Maybe I'm just one of those guys that just talking before he's even seen it. But I have one of the comments that just came through is, do you think the fights are fixed? I personally just going to say I don't think so, just because you can tell that he's far superior, right? And I would say fixed is like they don't try, but yeah, you probably heard that too, right? Like, hey, these fights are fixed.
Yeah, they're not fixed. I mean, even like earlier in Jake Paul's career, when I think he knocked out
was it Woodley?
Tyrone Woodley.
Yeah.
There's no way you're fixing that. I mean, I can bet someone right now to put your arms on your side and fall face down on a mat, on a hard mat. For $1,000 or $10,000, you probably will naturally flinch. And if you watch him on the camera, he fell straight down and landed on his face. Like there's some things that you can't really. There's stuff on the back end that you can do to make things go in your favor. And I definitely think that happens, like in terms of just the clauses and the time the fight take place, the amount of rounds. There's all types of things that you can kind of coordinate. But at the end of the day, the rule set is the same for both fighters. So, and they both agree to it. So nothing is fixed there. And you got to be both to coordinate both fighters to fix a fight like that. It's gonna be very tough.
No, I agree. I agree with you.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question.
Takes a fall, if a guy takes a fall, and obviously Jake Paul's not taking a fall or anything like that.
Nah, man. No, you're right, bro. And like you said, he's all in. You see it, and it looks like she's straight, like he's bought in, he's focused. So that's sick. So let me ask you a question about business and fighting. Do you think, because I've been reading a ton of business books, and pretty much all the masterminds I go to, they're always like, focus on one thing. Do you think, like, just kind of curious, to be honest, like, is it going to be difficult for you to run your business, your courses, and your inventions, and be a top level fighter? Do you feel like you're going to have to choose between one? Tell me what your thoughts on that are.
Yeah, I think it's definitely tough, especially in the beginning when you're not established. But I've been doing this business thing since I was in college, and I've done a lot of the hard work, when I was in college and when I was doing all the product development myself and things like that, the manufacturing myself. But now I got to a point now where I think at a certain point, to be successful in business, you have to understand how to delegate. And I think somebody said, you have to learn how to work on your business, not in your business. And a lot of times people get caught up with an ego, or, thinking that they're the only ones or they're going to do the best job at everything. So like in my business, there's a ton of different tasks that I can, of course, do myself. And I feel very confident doing myself, or I can outsource, I can hire, I can do all these different things and trust that, maybe this guy isn't running a full, blown business, but maybe he's really good at 3D design, or maybe he's really good at PPC campaigns on Amazon, or maybe he's really good at XYZ. So just understanding how to delegate in your business, especially as a young business owner, just having that mindset. And obviously in the beginning, maybe you don't have the money to outsource everything. You have to kind of do some of the heavy lifting yourself.
Right.
But as you go, you have to understand how to delegate and how to use other people's time, to your advantage.
No, great answer. Leverage is the key to wealth, right? I think I was watching a Alex Hormozy video. I don't know if you watch him, but he was just talking about leverage. You want to make more money, you need to leverage more things. Leverage time, leverage people. And you're exactly right. Like the E-Myth, you can't do it all. You can't in the beginning, you're almost got to, right? And then you can start delegating. Sounds like you've been doing it long enough that you're starting to delegate. So let's go back to how you even got into this industry. Because to be real, bro, when I was a kid, I was like, man, I want to invent stuff. And I was like, I don't even know if that exists. I don't even know if that's a career. So I'd never really thought of it past 8 years old or 10 years old. How did you know about this path? Did you find it in college? Tell us about you went down that road.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't in college. College is not really meant to teach, entrepreneurship or things like that. Obviously they have some classes like that, but I think we all know that the big businesses and things like that, they invest in the colleges to breed workers, right? So you kind of have to like look outside of colleges in some degree, but you can, for me, you can really use college as a resource, but you kind of have to do a lot of the heavy lifting outside of college. But for me, the where I got started was actually in college. And I've always had like an entrepreneurial mindset, always thought about different products and things like that. But I never really, I guess, devoted myself to making a product a reality until I was in college. And at the time I was boxing, and a problem that I came across was a lot of guys start to drop their hands, in training. And so I started working on this product to where it's a proximity sensor on a headband. And when you raise your hand and you start to drop your hands, it gives you just like a quick alert. So you're able to pick your hands up and things like that. And it was just a training aid. So I just kind of dive into it, not knowing anything, right? Just kind of researching different things. Again, seeking knowledge from other people who are, this guy was a electrical engineer. I seek some of his knowledge and things like that. And then it took a while. And then finally I hit a point where I guess I realized all the hiccups in terms of developing a tech product. So I had to get all these certifications, and obviously you're putting a product with a battery on top of people's heads. So there can be some liabilities and things like that. But that's where I kind of hit the ground running and starting with a product, right? I just kind of just started messing around with it. And then
you got it, bro. Let's see this thing.
Yeah, well, this is actually another product. So while I was boxing, a big headache, a lot of people, they have these hand wraps, right? You have the hand wraps to wrap your hands up when you're boxing and whatnot. And so this product here, simply you put the hand wraps in, or you put the hook in, you close it, and you roll up your hand wrap really quick, and then it's okay for your hand wraps. Going back to the other product, it took me a while, and then I started working on this product, started diving into product design, and I didn't know anything. I'm talking like I knew nothing, but I was just determined, again, like just like in boxing, determined to learn, and determined to learn about product development, things like that. So I just started learning about injection molding, and even a lot of people will take for granted some design or some engineering that comes with some of these products, like a ketchup bottle. They have this little hinge here, and it's basically just a plastic piece that's connected, but it's called a living hinge. And I had to do a ton of research on living hinges and understanding how they open and close, and understanding the mechanism, hooking hook and groove mechanism on how to close and how to snap these things closed. So there's a ton of research, learning from the ground up, plastic injection molding, how our products develop, how to design a plastic product. I guess these were just one of the first products that I've developed. And at the
That's
time,
a solid product, bro. That's a solid product right there. I just got to stop because I boxed too growing up, not like you, but the hand wraps, man. You got to wrap them back up. They get unraveled. That's a great invention, dude. Amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, and I guess the first product and so I was working on this product, and then I started branching out into some other sports. So I branched out into basketball, and I came out with a product here. It's called the Flick Glove. And basically this product, you put it around your wrist and your hand, and it forces a follow through when you shoot the basketball. So
you hooper too, bro? You hooper too?
I just play for fun, but I knew a lot of guys who played at Penn State and things like that, and I kind of sought out their expertise and some of the issues that they would have. And I see a lot of young basketball players, they push the ball instead of flicking the ball, and that flick forces a backspin on the ball.
Yeah.
So I kind of have a funny story with this product. It was one of the first products that I actually launched on Amazon, and so I basically didn't have any money at the time, and I was like, you know what, like I want to make this product. I know it's going to be a silicone product. It goes around my wrist. So I taught myself SolidWorks. I taught myself 3D design, and I designed this product. And at that point, I knew nothing about manufacturing, but I did a little research, learned about injection molding and things like that. And so what I did was I just 3D printed the mold. So I 3D printed the negative of this product. And then I had a bunch of silicone, and I would pour the silicone into this mold, like in my dorm room. And I would squeegee the silicone off between classes and pull them out in between classes and package them up. And little by little, I started, little by little, I got to a point where I had to decide, where am I going to sell this product? Am I going to sell it retail, online? And that's where Amazon FBA, that's where I got to know Amazon FBA. And Amazon, a lot of people know Amazon for just buying products, but there's a ton of small businesses that they make a living selling products on Amazon. So I got into that. I launched the product on Amazon, and literally within weeks, I started selling hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of units.
Wow, dude.
To a point where I was like, you know what, I can't manufacture this product in my dorm anymore. Like this is getting crazy. So then I 3D printed like 6-7 molds. I had buddies helping me like pull them out and package them and ship them to Amazon. And then that's when
I'm curious real quick, like, did you do marketing, or did you just launch it and put it on Amazon and all of a sudden people are buying it? Like, how's that even?
Yeah. And at the time, this was 8 years ago, 9 years ago. I didn't really know much about Amazon FBA on, the SEO, the keyword research, all the different things, the perfect listing, things like that. I just knew that I got to take a few pictures. I got whatever, just kind of did just a rough launch. And so, it was really nothing. Like I launched a product and I put the keywords, and then people were just searching up like basketball training aids or shooting and just finding the product.
That's cool.
And so at a certain point, I got to a point where I was manufacturing so many or selling so many that I had to seek a manufacturer overseas. And they did the injection molding, and that's where I have this more professional version now that I sell online, and it sells really well. So
wow,
it's just one of
what's the margin on that, man? I'm sure it's not. Yeah, what would the margin be like? What you sell it for and what it costs to make and get it out?
Yeah, so I think right now we've kind of got it down with it just depends on the bulk, the number of units you buy. Obviously, the more units you buy, the lower your cost is going to be, your landed cost. So a product like this, it also depends. Like for this is a little more expensive because we have these rivets here and these snap buttons, and it takes a little bit more technology to get these snap buttons in each one, and then the amount of snap buttons it is. So it's a little more expensive product, but you can get if it's just all silicon, it's just an injection molding. You have the fixed cost of the injection molding mold. And then after that, I mean, you can get silicon products like this for, I would say, less than $1 and, sell them for $20, $15, $25, whatever it may be. So the margins are really good. Amazon takes a little cut for fulfilling it, but it's really competitive. And so it's good, really good margin at the end of the day.
That's awesome, bro. Do you ever have anyone come to you and say, hey, man, I got an idea. Will you make it and sell it on your thing? Give me a cut? Or has that happened?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I actually have a buddy of mine. He had an idea, and I told him anybody else, I would just say, buy my course, and it'll walk you through A to Z on how to do it yourself, because I have a ton of different products, and I have the course, and I have fighting and everything like that. I don't have too much time, but it was a buddy of mine, and I wanted to do business with him. So I said, all right, well, let's go in this together. And it's actually one of my best selling products. So I have a few products like that. And
do you have it with you?
We'll have so here's one of the products called the drip pad. Okay. And this is actually a refrigerator drip catcher. So you put it in the fridge, the water dispenser, and it
Okay.
absorbs all the extra drip, so you don't have that calcium build up and things like that in your drip tray.
Crazy,
So
man.
this product, we got a design patent on it, and there was a ton of knockoffs that came on Amazon after us, and we're waiting on this design patent, and then we'll be set. But it sells really good, and
So
it's
what
one
is
of
the
our
design patent? How does that work? Is that like the knockoffs? The knockoffs like get you paid?
Well, I guess the design patent just protects the design. The utility
Okay.
patent protects the utility of it, and anybody else that kind of see the product and try to knock it off, we can get rid of them off of Amazon and kind of control the market. But in the
Wow.
beginning, yeah, just like a tip, like in the beginning when we have these knockoffs, we actually like to leave them up. Even if we have a patent. So I have this product here. Um, this is actually one of my other products. It's
Mhm.
it's called a vent cover, and it's a baby accessory product. So I just recently had a kid. Actually, I have two kids now, but kids like to stick their fingers in the vent. They can stick their fingers in the vent, get their toe caught in the vent, and they can get badly injured or cut themselves on the side of the vent. So all these are is just protective covers. That way, it can baby proof the vent cover and protect the baby. So we launched this product. We got the patent on it, design patent and utility patent. But there's a ton of knockoffs that came into the market, and in the course we talk about how to prevent that and prolong that. But there's a ton of knockoffs that came onto Amazon, and in the beginning we're like, yo, let's just get rid of them. We have the patent, but we decided to let them stay because it's a new product. And in the beginning, when you have a new product, you have to educate the market on the product. Like maybe you
Right.
didn't know that event could be dangerous, right? Maybe someone doesn't know that event could be a hazard, or maybe someone doesn't know that this product exists. So a ton of these sellers that are knocking off the product, they're actually going out there and they're educating the market for me. They're paying that ad spend. They're paying the ad spend on Amazon to expand the market, to advertise in niches such as baby
Mhm.
safety, or maybe advertise on other listings, such as maybe like a outlet cover and things like that. So they're spending a lot of the AdSense, and all we do is advertise on their listing, because we have
Mm.
the most established listing and things like that. So
Yeah,
these are
yeah, the
all
reviews and
kinds
all
of
that.
strategies. Yeah, we have a ton of reviews, and it's we make sure that ours is quality, and we have the branding and everything behind it. So, and then eventually, once the market gets big, then we'll get rid of them, come after them.
So,
But
so let's talk about your course really quick. So if someone was like, "Man, I want to invent something," they buy your course, so there's the investment right there. Is there any other investment that they need to build a product? Like, do they need to like research the product they're wanting to make before they even make it to make sure someone will buy it? Like, how much money would someone need in order? Do you want to talk about how expensive your course is and the investment they would need to make, or do you want them to kind of
yeah,
reach
we
out
can
to you
talk
and then?
about it. So right now the course is $2,000, but right
Okay.
now it's not open to the public. We have it for like a small group right now because
Okay.
we call it the founders program, and basically we're going to use, it's a small group of basically friends and family that want to launch products that have sought out my expertise and things like that. So we're making the products now, we're launching the products, and soon they're going to have products and numbers to show for everything that I'm talking about, and how successful these products can be. And then when we have that, we're working on the website and everything right now, and it'll
Okay.
become available. But there are also other courses out there, other FBA courses specifically that you can purchase just to understand how to sell on Amazon. And then there's probably also other product development courses that teach how to develop products. But my course is specifically to sell products on Amazon, but to gain an advantage over the competitors. Because right now Amazon is really saturated, but they have the market. It's like social media. There's
Yeah.
everyone's just going on Amazon, going on. So you definitely want to get a product on Amazon for that passive income, but you don't want to compete against all the other sellers. So you have to find a way to differentiate yourself. And just from me being creative and launching these different strategies and creating these different products, I've been able to come up with these unique strategies that I haven't seen before. I've seen versions here and there, but obviously you have like a new product strategy. We have three other, we call it guerrilla strategies because FBA guerrillas. We call it guerrilla strategies on how to choose the perfect product, or how to make an adjustment, or just there's different strategies like we talked about before, and how they can get an edge over the competition, and also understand the manufacturing side, how to manufacture a product. Like you said, if you have an idea, or if you don't even have an idea, how to come up with an idea, right? Because there's a science for everything. We all have a niche in our life that we have expertise on. We know, like I just had a kid, so I understand the market, right? So I understand like what are some of the problems that arise within my daily life, watching my kid or seeing them move throughout the day. So then you can start using those problems to then tie it back into Amazon, tie it back into a solution, tie it back into the manufacturing, tie it back into all these different strategies. Before you know it, you'll have a successful product like this vent cover product here.
That's dope,
I
bro.
invented the product here that it's another baby product. Whether it's a sports niche, like something I'm familiar with, like boxing, basketball. I have a ton of basketball products, kitchen accessory products. So, a lot of people, they teach this stuff, but they've never really launched a product from scratch, or they're just reselling products that already exist. So that's what differentiates our course.
Dang.
And fully confident that anyone that purchases the course or anyone that wants more information, I think if they make that investment, they'll never regret it. Like for me, I made an initial investment in some of these products, and it's now peanuts, compared to what I make now. And in the beginning, the initial investment, it really depends on the product you're trying to launch. Obviously, you don't have to buy any course. You can just kind of do it yourself. But then your time is your investment, and that's the biggest investment you can make. So if you're going to want to invest like I did 10 years, where you can just piggyback off of everything I learned in those 10 years, that's going to be super beneficial. So you obviously, it depends on where you're at. If you're young, if you're only 15, you have no money, you have nothing but time, then just, start learning, start researching on YouTube and everything. If you have a little bit more money, like you're in college and you got maybe a couple $1,000s that you want to just put aside, or if you don't even have that, maybe partner with someone else who has some more money, but you have a little more time to take a course. So maybe they buy the course for you, you learn everything, you launch the products, run it, and then you profit share like that. There's a ton of different opportunities that you can leverage and take advantage of depending on where you're at. Obviously, the more money you have, the bigger the investment. But for me, like this product here, the Flick Glove, I had close to no money. I started off with about like $60 for silicone and packaging and things like that. So I started $60, and I think just alone last year, this product did over $350,000, just this one product.
Wow. Started from 60, huh?
Started from $60, literally $60. I made these, and I wish I had the original one here. It was just a silicone. There was no buttons or anything. It went around your hand and it went around your fingers. I sold those, I started selling those. And then once I launched this one, 2-3 years later, the first year we did maybe like 65 grand in the first year, with a combination of the product that I was manufacturing in my dorm and then the professional product. But then after that, everything was kind of streamlined.
That's wild, bro.
When you
That's
put
dope.
in that investment, you definitely have to take a little risk in the beginning. But it depends on the amount of time you want to spend on it versus the amount of money. But again, you can, with the strategies, if you have the knowledge, then it really won't cost that much, because I think knowledge is one of the most, I guess, costly things, right? If I'm going to hire an engineer for his knowledge. Yeah, if I'm going to hire an engineer to design me a product, they're going to charge me $10,000. If you take the course and that's a little middle ground. So now you're doing the work yourself. So it just depends on how much you have to invest and your goals.
Dang. Well, you heard it here first, everybody. If you want to build a product, Musa's your guy. You got to hit him up on Instagram. Go to his website once it's ready. He'll help you out. Wow, that's amazing, bro. I've freaking learned a lot from you. I'd like to keep on talking, but maybe we got to have you back on here, bro. Maybe we got to have you back on in the future, because I think I want to follow your journey, bro. You're boxing, you're fighting, you're building products. Dang, like I think you got a bright future ahead of you, man. There's a lot going on. I do have one last thing to say. So I'm really into personal development. I actually created my own planner that like kind of takes people through planning out their life. Then it reverse engineers anything from their life to a yearly goal, to a quarterly goal, to their weekly planning, to their daily. So I have everything built out, and I give away the PDF for free to my students and stuff, and just anybody that wants it. I'm curious, is that like, would that also be a product? Like if it was, or is that like a book? Is a planner, if I printed that out, got that all set up on Amazon, just curious, would that be like more on Amazon books, or would that be a product that you could sell as a planner and like on Amazon, kind of like how you do it?
No, it's a great product. It wouldn't be on books. You launch it as a product, because it's not like a text, or you don't have to have it published.
No, yeah, it would be a planner.
It would be a planner. Yeah, I think it would be a perfect product. And
bro, I'll have to send you the PDF and you can check it out. Maybe we can, I can take your course or we can figure something out. Cause I'd love to get this thing out. I don't know who would buy it, but I think it's dope. I use it.
There's a ton of different. So Amazon has the market. So if you understand how to do the PPC campaigns, you understand how to do keyword optimization, and people are going to be searching for planners and things like that. Yours is going to come up. So
I print mine out. Like I have, this is my life goal, like the life plan and objective. And then I bring it down into like, what are my quarterly goals? And then it goes into my weekly planning. So it's all built out and I just have tabs. But I feel like if I put this into like actual, like someone could buy it and it's just ready to go, I feel like someone would buy it, bro.
I can just get with me. I can put you in touch with some manufacturers that can manufacture that in a really cool looking book and have it packaged up really nice. And I think that would be awesome. I think that would do really well on Amazon.
Yeah, I love it.
Again, there's tons of
sold, man. I'm sold.
To find an angle.
Yeah, cool. Well, hey, let's wrap up because I feel like we got some good stuff. I feel anybody again, if you learned, I learned a ton. I asked questions I was interested in. I hope you guys, if you want to ask more questions, hit up Musa on Moose_777 on Instagram. Hit him up. Definitely got a lot to teach you. You can learn a lot from Musa. I'm glad that you came on here today, man. Before we wrap up, I want to ask you one last question. Is there anything you want to leave our listeners with? That like a gold nugget, anything you want to say before we end tonight or today?
Yeah, well, somebody said y'all both cute, so I appreciate that.
yes.
That gave
Jacqueline.
Yeah,
Jacqueline. He's married. He's got a kid. He's got kids. But hey, we appreciate you.
Kids, so that's off the table. But I think just in anything, just life's a balance. You got to be able to balance everything. But then again, find something that you really, really enjoy and try to make that your income. I think, whether it's fighting, product development or anything like that. Like my wife, she was a stay-at-home mom for a while, but then she had a little more time and she used to do ballet and she wanted to kind of find some stuff to do. And I was like, why don't you go teach ballet? Like, why don't you, she's like, oh, it's not really like, she didn't have the mindset to think like that's a real possibility. And I'm like,
right.
Why not? It's something you love to do, something you're gonna be passionate about. That's something that you're gonna grow in. You're not just gonna go work somewhere and not have any stake in that. And so she started working there and she loves it. So and then she's growing within there and like gonna help start her own thing and start her own podcast. And so I would say just try to find what you love to do and try to find a way that's going to make you money. With social media and with even Amazon, like with Amazon social media, just the communication that we have, how we're connected, you can turn anything into income. You can turn anything into cash. So just find that niche that you're passionate about and then start thinking about different ways that you can capitalize on it.
Bro, I'm passionate about this planner, bro. Like I teach people how to, get into real estate, but I love planning out my life. I love being like having a direction or where you're going. I think that's what, I'd love to do something like that.
I give you one more thing, like with the planner is like, learn, like you don't want to sell the benefits or you don't want to sell the features of the planner. So a lot of people get caught up. They're selling the features. Oh, this planner has this section has this. All right. Well, there's 100 other planners that probably have that. Well, you have to sell the benefits. What is the benefits that this planner is going to give you? You have to sell to the customer that they need this planner. What is this planner going to give you? It's going to give you X amount more time throughout the day. It's going to give you peace of mind. It's going to make you more money. All these things are the benefits that planner is going to gift you. So you don't want to be selling like whether it's advertising or social media or Amazon. You don't want to be selling the features of your product or whatever you're selling. You want to be selling the benefits to the customer, how it's going to improve their life.
The problem it'll solve, correct?
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, all about that, man. You're solving problems all day. I love it. All right, man. Balance is the key. Like J. Cole says, life is a balance. Lose your grip. If you don't, you could lose your grip and slip. That's like one of the lyrics I like from J. Cole. But anyway, all right, man. Later. Appreciate it. See you later.
Thanks for having me.